Welcome back. The 2025 Africa Travel Indaba happened this week, and this comes as South Africa hosts the second G20 Tourism Working Group meeting in KwaZulu-Natal, bringing together global delegates to discuss creating a more inclusive, innovative and sustainable tourism for the future. The KwaZulu-Natal tourism sector, as we know it, is recovering after major disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic, civil unrest and floods. To talk to us more about some of the highlights from the Indaba, we are now joined by Thembisile Sehloho. She's the Chief Marketing Officer from South African Tourism, and she joins us now via our video link. Thembisile, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, let's start off here. This week, you held the Tourism Indaba, the Africa Tourism Indaba that took place earlier on in the week. Tell us more about that. How did that go?
It went very well. I thank you for your time, firstly. We literally had the most successful Indaba we've ever had. So we saw over 9,700 visitors coming through to Indaba this year. And I mean, with the numbers coming through, we had 1,342 exhibitors that were coming through, 27 from African countries, which has been obviously our focus because it is a pan-African show. We want more African countries to participate and create the economic impact through tourism for the African continent. With the numbers being so high and KZN coming out of hosting the G20 second working group for tourism, and then coming out of the Derby as well. So we are really looking forward to seeing the economic impact numbers being released out of KZN that have been audited, and the impact that this show has had on the economy of the KZN region.
And talking about the economy, I mean, when it comes to marketing South Africa as a whole and making it attractive, how does this benefit not only just the KZN economy, but the overall economy for South Africa?
Yeah, so I think what the show did for us, it gave us an opportunity to land our global brand campaign, which is South Africa Awaits, Come and Find Your Joy. And that is really about marketing the whole country. And in the show in itself, whilst it's in KZN, we made sure that all the regions are represented so that they're able to market the regions within South Africa, because the economic spread of tourism is quite important for us, and the geographical spread of tourism is quite important to the sector. So really getting small provinces into the show, and most importantly getting small businesses into the show. Like for example, when we're really driving our activation around South Africa Awaits, Come and Find Your Joy, we're really trying to bring joy to life in many facets of tourism, which is gastronomy, visually seeing tourism, joy through tourism, fashion. We had a wine exhibitor exhibiting as well. We had a young man from Chesterville who started a ice cream making company. We gave him the space to exhibit his product to the world, really. And that's the kind of economic impact we want to have with this kind of shows. We really want to give opportunity to small provinces to showcase their products, and also give opportunity to small businesses to showcase their products to the world. And really, at the center of all of this, it is about economic impact. And, that's what G20 is also all about, really.
And speaking about G20, I mean, South Africa is the presidency for this year's G20 summit taking place in November later this year. But throughout the year, we are seeing a number of activities that take place leading up to that major summit that will take place. And one would ask, when it comes to marketing South Africa, how important is this to continue to make South Africa an attractive destination? And during the G20 summit, surely this will have a major impact on South Africa's tourism sector.
It is absolutely critical. Events like the G20 is an opportunity, and being the host as an African country, the first African country, it gives us an opportunity to showcase, what Africa and South Africa can do in terms of hosting events like this. And I always say an event like this cannot happen without the tourism ecosystem in itself. So, we need conference venues, we need hotels, we need restaurants. In that, you are benefiting from a micro level to really a smaller level, communities in township and rural tourism benefiting from from an event like this. And I always say, like an event like this also allows us an opportunity to, to showcase our leisure tourism whilst we are doing business tourism through G20. Because for every business traveler that's here, we are hoping to capture them from a leisure perspective for them to actually book that next trip and come back to South Africa with their family. For every 16 tourists that we get in the country, we create one job. So it's quite critical that we drive the numbers that we are trying to drive towards 2030, and we get our numbers of 15 million visitors coming to the country. So G20 allows us that opportunity. And also, pre-misconception about South Africa and Africa as a continent around our infrastructure and our ability to host excellent events. Quite critical that a G20 comes here and we are able to showcase in Indaba, for example, as a world-class excellent event that we have managed to host. And then we're able to host these micro meetings and the major meeting in November to showcase our excellence and our infrastructure. I think in most cases, some of the delegates are surprised when they come to South Africa for the first time. They're like, oh my God, we didn't know that this country was like this. And only when you touch field tourism, you are able to convert visitors to come to the country. So I really think that an event like this is critical for the tourism ecosystem. And we can see in Brazil what it did for their tourism economy when they hosted G20.
All right, Thembisile, thank you so much for your time. And that's Thembisile Sehloho. She is the Chief Marketing Officer from South African Tourism, just talking to us more about that 2025 Africa Indaba that took place in Durban, as well as telling us more about what we can expect come the G20 summit taking place in South Africa later this year.